In the book of Revelations in the Bible, Satan is simply known as the Beast. But nearly 900 years earlier, he went by a very different name, Lucifer, the angel of light, the most angelic of beings.
He was the highest of the angels created, had the most authority, but then rebelled against God and took a number of angels with him. And so there's a civil war of sorts going on in the heavenly realm. And he's the head of the whole thing. Since the Middle Ages, he's been depicted as, this red beast with horns and pitchfork and hoofs and tail.
There's a reason why Satan looks like he does, and one need look no further than Pan, the god of the mountain wild and Greek mythology, to see the real roots of Satan's diabolical persona.
Pan, the god of fertility, had cloven hooves and a tail and horns, symbolizing lust. And of course, the early Christians were not fond of lust as a positive thing. So using these pagan symbols, they evolved into being projected on what would be considered something evil.
There's something about the fusing of the animal and the human that is terrifying to us. It represents something that we fear might be inside of us, this animalistic side that wants to devour and kill.
Pan and Satan fascinated the famous poet Dante, who took liberties with both characters and crafted the Inferno.
Dante is a great example of the power of a compelling story. He creates this elaborate hell, and then, 1,000 years later, we're all taking this as kind of religious canon. And that's because it's good storytelling, and it's great detail, and it resonates with us kind of emotionally. And so we take it and we assume that it's always been true.
Something that would surprise a lot of Christians, never mind non-Christians, is that the term hell never appears in the Bible. Instead, what biblical translators did was use the term hell as a stand-in for other words, as a catch-all term to describe the bad place people might end up when they die.
It seems to me that in some ways, we find the idea of eternal torment to be more comforting than not knowing what might happen, or even worse, the fear that afterward there might be nothing.